Okay, it's Friday, October 21st. This is a pre-opening SPY report. After yesterday's failure day to the downside, closing red with an outside bar, we are looking for a little continuation lower. You can see the pre-market range is sort of near the bottom of yesterday's range, and we did move lower a little bit after hours, but now we're having a little bit of a rally here within the range with about a half hour to go before trading. So it's kind of interesting. What could develop here as we head to the open? You can see here the top of the pre-market range is still well below the midpoint of yesterday. So you're really going to need to see a strong green bar above this pre-market high that looks like it would follow through bar number 2 to start maybe potentially, having this broadening out lower day that just immediately moves higher. Other than that, I'm kind of still looking for a failure up here early in the session. It will all depend on how that price opens. If we can fail up here, then you can get short. We'll watch the opening price bars and figure out the perfect timing of it, and then look to see if we can head down to that low. If we head down to this pre-market low, which would be our target, then the question is, we kind of entered this gap area pre-market, and the question is, again, if we take out that low, you watch for continuation or failure. If we get some continuation, then we're turning the month red here below this green line that I've been referencing for a while, and there are all kinds of targets, on the daily chart down below the green line to this next bar here. So it's not really an actionable signal. It's a 3-bar outside bar to the downside that you may get continuation, you may get a little broadening, and then start back up. For a moment, I thought we were going to start near the bottom of the range, and I was going to suggest watching that opening price action to see if we fail in this gap and immediately start up. That would be a little bit in conflict because you're way below the midpoint of yesterday, so it's not the type of day I normally want to buy on, but you'd at least know that you're pausing here, and then you just kind of see how the week ends, by the end of the day, and determine where you're heading next week. But anyway, it looks like we're rallying up a little bit. This could be a good opportunity to, depending on opening price action, to maybe sell, see if we then hit our opening, the pre-market lows as the first target, and then see how price reacts in this whole gap area. And again, intraday structure will prove all that. But the failure day yesterday is still intact until proven otherwise. Once we had a big move up that went to the midpoint of this bar and started down, that was kind of the signal somewhere up in here yesterday to be short. And now, even though we're kind of starting to move up a little bit pre-market, we're still kind of in a downward move here. So until we can really get to the midpoint of yesterday, somewhere up in here again, I'm going to consider this maybe just a quick area to take out some stops and reverse. But if we get a strong opening, then this day may end up where it just starts up again, and maybe, I've been talking about that upward broadening action all the time. So this is still just a 3-day little pullback in here, and if we really get some strong start, I guess it's possible that this entire week might just be literally Monday and then Friday forming a big green bar with all this, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just noise. So it is possible, since the market's trying to rally strong, you can get a strong opening here. And again, this was just a very tricky, choppy environment yesterday, that eventually is going to resolve to the upside. So we'll just see how opening price develops here. Again, I really want to see that midpoint of yesterday's bar kind of be the reference point to whether we're going to possibly start higher or hold in that area and then continue lower into that gap. So let's see how it opens.